welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. 2 Chronicles 24 has this. And Joash did that which was right in the sight of the Lord all the days of Jehoiada the priest. Now after the death of Jehoiada came the princes of Judah and made obeisance to the king. Then the king hearkened unto them. Clustered about these verses is the tragedy of a soul. Joash began life well, and for most of it was faithful to his conscience and duty. And then, when circumstances changed, he threw it all away by forgetting the past and committing moral suicide. It is a sad old story, a bright beginning, an early promise scattered to the winds. It's a strange story, too. This 7-year-old king had been saved when his father had been killed, and that true daughter of Jezebel, as well by nature as by blood, Athaliah, had murdered all his brothers and sisters and made herself queen. He had been saved by the courage of a woman who might worthily stand by the side of Deborah and other Jewish heroines. She hid and raised him in the temple until, while still just a boy, he came to the throne. Under the tutelage of the high priest Jehoiada, he reigned well till the lad of 7 became a man of 30 or so. Then Jehoiada died and was laid among the kings of Judah, a worthy resting place for one who had done good in Israel. Now the weakling on the throne was left alone, without the strong arm to guide and keep him right, and the princes of Judah came and made obeisance to him. Their plan was to leave the house of the Lord to serve groves and idols, symbols of the goddess of the Sidonians. And so all the past is wiped out, and Joash takes his place among the apostates. When the strong man on whom Joash used to lean was away, the poor weak king went just where the wicked princes led him. The worst people found in the Bible are not those who begin with a deliberate intention of doing evil. They are weaklings, reeds shaken by the wind, who have no strength of character by which to resist the force of circumstances. It has been said that to be weak is to be miserable. Worse, weakness sooner or later becomes wickedness. The person who does not bar the doors and windows of his feelings and his soul against temptation is sure to make shipwreck of his life and in the end to become a fool. There is so much wickedness lying round us in this world that anyone who lets himself be shaped and colored by that with which he comes in contact is sure to go to the bad in the long run. Where a soul lays open to the accidents of time and circumstances, the majority of these influences will be contrary to what is right and good. Therefore, he must gather himself together and learn to say no. There is no foretelling the profound abysses into which a good, easy nature, with plenty of high and pure moral impulses, perhaps, which are written in water, may fall. Thou, therefore, young man, be strong in the grace that is in Christ Jesus. Learn to say no, or else you will be sure to say yes in the wrong place, and then down you will go like this Joash, whose goodness depended on Jehoiada, and when he died, all the virtue that had characterized this life so far was laid with him in the dust. This story also teaches us how little staying power there is in a merely traditional religion. It's not enough to have been brought up in a Christian home, to have attended Sunday school, heard many a prayer from deacon and parson, to have learned verses and sung gospel songs. Religion is the most personal thing about each of us. To become one is highly individual, something you must do for yourself, as if only you and God were the universe. Guides and role models may encourage, but triumphant grace to rise above ourselves into the lofty peaks of courage and integrity have their foundations in the God of eternity through the sacrifice he gave in his Son with his perfect example of how we should live. The Lord wants us to have such contact with him, whether the examples before us be good or evil, we persist in maintaining our integrity before him. And have you talked to him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.